Hello. Welcome to today's live English lesson here on the Speak English with Vanessa YouTube channel. I'm so glad that you're here today to learn 2 useful idioms and a couple ways how to use them. We've got a helper here, my cat Pippin. In the morning, he's really active, so I hope you don't mind. I hope that you enjoyed today's live lesson, and if today is your first time joining me live, welcome, welcome. We have live English lessons here on YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. EST. We just had a time change in the US, daylight savings time. So if the hour is a little different for you than usual, I want to let you know in the US, we have daylight savings time. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but it happens and I can't help it right now. So please change your schedule for 9 o'clock because time has changed in the US. But if you're here live, thanks so much. I see people from all over the world here. Nessa's here. Hello, hello. Yadir Rodrigo, I'm glad you're here. Adriana, James in Taiwan, thanks so much. Thanks for coming, Alan. Glad you're here. If this is your first time joining our live lesson, I also want to let you know that if you would like to get live lesson updates, the best way to get notified for live lessons is really simple. Just subscribe to my YouTube channel and YouTube will automatically send you live notifications. There's a little bell beside the notification, the subscribe button, and this way you'll know exactly when we have live lessons each week. And if you would like to get an email reminder, you can join my email group if you download my free ebook, 5 Steps to Becoming a Confident English Speaker. I'll send you a reminder and a free email lesson so that you can improve your skills. The link for this is in the description below the video. Are you ready to talk about today's idiom? Kind of a proverb, kind of an idiom. It's a little bit of both. So I want to use 2 today, but the first one that we're going to talk about is a little more varied. And the second one we can only use in specific situations. So let's talk about the more varied one today first, because you're going to be able to use this in a lot of situations. Does anyone know? Can you guess what expression we're going to talk about? If you see the title of today's lesson, you can get it. We have a couple people in the live chat who have guessed already. It is out of sight. Out of mind. So here we have 2 parts. Out of sight. Sight is going to be, oh, my lovely picture here. Oh, I should be an artist. Out of sight. So we have this and, oh, no, we can't see. And out of mind. So let's imagine we've got our little friend here and he has a brain. This is his mind. It means, well, out of his brain. If it is out of sight, out of mind, this means that when you don't see it, you forget about it. So the second idiom we're going to talk about can be only used or typically used for relationships. This idiom, we can use it for relationships, but we can use it for a lot of other things as well. So that's why I wanted to mainly focus on this one today. I'm going to ask you some questions, and then we'll talk about the second one as well. So I have a quick question for you. When you don't see let's imagine you're in school. When you don't see your school books, when you're outside doing something else, do you think about your schoolwork? When you don't see it, do you think about it? And if you're not in school right now, remember back to the days when you were in school, and you were outside spending time with your friends. Did you think about your schoolwork when you were out doing something else? Alan says, of course not. So for Alan, this is the perfect idiom for you. You could say, homework? Out of sight, out of mind. Gildane says the same thing. No, I certainly did not. So if you don't see something and you forget about it, we could use this idiom to talk about it. So let's try to create a full sentence using this idea of homework. Because usually we use this in its own sentence. So this is a full sentence, out of sight, out of mind. But if we want to use it in a broader context, I want to help you with this. So we could say, when I'm with my friends, I forget about my homework. And then we can use our idiom here. Out of sight, out of mind. When I'm with my friends, I forget about my homework. Out of sight, out of mind. And it is really just reinforcing the same concept. You're just saying the same thing again, that I forget. I forget about my homework. Beautiful. Kai says, when I'm with my friends, I forget about my homework. You got it. Out of sight, out of mind. Oh, we have a couple people who said, I don't forget about my homework when I'm out with my friends. Maybe it's something you're constantly thinking of. You can't get it out of your mind because you want to get it finished or you're worried about it. So for you, we should change the first part of this sentence. So I want to know for you, what are some things that you forget when you don't see them? So for me, sometimes this is dinner. When I'm cooking something, usually if I'm cooking it for the first time, I remember it because I have to really cook it. But if I'm reheating it, if I cooked it yesterday and I want to eat it again today, if I'm reheating it on the stove and I go to the other room, out of sight, out of mind. Maybe 50% of the time I forget about it. So for me, I could say, when I reheat my dinner, I often forget about it. Out of sight, out of mind. This is something that's hard for me to remember until I smell something burning and then I realize, the dinner is burning. So it's easy to forget. Lionel says, I forgot to make my payment. So maybe you could say, when I don't write my payment on my calendar, I forget about it. Out of sight, out of mind. It's something that's easy for you to forget. Let's talk about this quickly with relationships. So let's imagine that you are dating your girlfriend, but she lives 3 hours away. You could say, because my girlfriend lives so far away, I often forget to call her. Out of sight, out of mind. This is for relationships. And in this situation, this is generally not a positive thing. You're not forgetting important things or not important things. But if it's for a relationship, you don't want to tell your girlfriend that. But some people might say that. So I want to know for you, what is something that is out of sight, out of mind? Gabriella's here. Gabriella says, when I'm reading a book, I get out of the world, out of sight, out of mind. Beautiful. So for you, when you're in another world, in the book, you're not thinking about what's happening around you. Maybe your family is saying, Gabriella, it's time to go. Gabriella, what are you doing? Stop reading. And you're completely absorbed in that book. Out of sight, out of mind. You're in another world. Oh, Diffu says, when I'm watching your lesson, I forget to do the laundry. Out of sight, out of mind. Beautiful way to use this expression. And I'm sure your family will understand that the laundry can be done later. Oh, Tom says something similar. When I watch your videos, I forget to do everything else. Out of sight, out of mind. Oh, Esther talks about using this for relationships with her family. She says, when I'm reading an English book, my family is out of sight, out of mind. And you use this in a great way in a full sentence. So let's make this into a full sentence like what you did. My family is out of sight, out of mind. And maybe you're thinking, shouldn't we put something else here? Out of my sight, out of my mind. But often with idioms or proverbs, it's not exactly like you would expect. So let's keep it like this. My family is out of sight, out of mind when I'm absorbed in a good book. My dinner is out of sight, out of mind when I'm in the other room. My homework is out of sight, out of mind. Julian has a good question. She says, Vanessa, I've got a question. When I use this sentence, which is I'm out of mind, does that mean I'm going crazy? This is a slightly different expression if we say I'm out of my mind. And we're not talking about sight. We only use that final part. I'll write this here. That's a great question because these expressions are really similar, but they have completely different meanings. I'm out of my mind. And sometimes we add with worry, with concern. This means I'm going crazy. I'm out of my mind. So we don't use this part, sight. We're not using that part of the sentence only, and we're also adding my. So this expression is a little different, and it just means I'm going crazy. Here's a little face so you can remember, going crazy. Oh, Hilal says, if my darling, if my love is out of sight, he's out of my mind. Oh, maybe don't tell him that, but I think it's understandable because you're focusing on what's around you, the things that are around you. So we can use this for almost anything. We talked about it for homework, for family, for food, for someone you love, for a lot of different situations. But what about our second idiom? Our second idiom is the opposite. Can anyone guess what is the opposite? This one is more of a proverb and it's a little bit longer and it has a completely different meaning, the opposite meaning. Not out of sight, out of mind, I forget about it. It's about your heart. I'll give you a little hint. It uses the word absence. Absence. Absence means gone, away. Can anyone guess what is our second idiom, our second proverb? Let me write this here. Absence is our first word. Makes the heart grow fonder. This one is definitely about relationships, definitely about love. We could use it for other things, but it's pretty strong. So if you use this for other things in your life, like dinner, then it's kind of a joke, like an exaggeration. So this means the opposite. Absence. When you're away, being away makes the heart grow, increase, and fonder means like your love is getting closer. So this means when you're away, you care more, you love more. It makes your love grow stronger. So this is exactly the opposite. Out of sight, out of mind. When your boyfriend's away, you don't think about him. When your dinner is in the other room, you don't think about it. It's not important, but this one is the opposite. When he's away, when your family's away, you care about them more. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So this is important for long distance relationships, or maybe if you're going to be away. This is important to share with someone you love, to encourage them. We had another good encouragement here in the comments. Alex said, "My declaration to my wife, you may be out of my sight, but never out of my mind." Oh, it's beautiful. So this is a great positive way to use the first expression, and it's similar to the second one. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So someone asked, what is fonder? Let me give you a quick little synonym. This is a pretty formal word, and we don't really use it too often. You might say, I am fond of chocolate. I am fond of traveling, something that you like. So absence makes the heart grow fonder. We could say like closer or more loving, something that is a positive thing, So I want to know for you, when you are away from your family, when you're away from your husband or your girlfriend or your friends, do you agree with the first idiom, out of sight, out of mind, I don't think about them? Or do you agree with the second idiom, absence makes the heart grow fonder? Your heart, your love is growing. We can imagine that the longer you're away, the stronger your love grows. What is true for you? I want to see what people here have to say so that we can have a little poll. Do you think absence makes the heart grow fonder, or do you think out of sight, out of mind, I don't think about him, I don't think about my family when I'm away, I'm thinking about other things? Oh, we have a lot of votes for the second one. Second. So when you're away, your love grows stronger. I think this can be kind of hard though, because when you're away, you miss them. You want to spend time with them. And it could be also kind of a sad feeling. So you have to maintain that connection. Oh, some people said number one, but I think the majority said number two. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. That when you return back and you see your loved ones again, your love has grown because you missed them, you loved them. Great. Well, maybe this is a good thing to tell your family when you leave. If you're going somewhere on a trip, to tell them, don't worry. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. When I get back, I'll love you even more. Well, maybe I should have taught about this lesson during Valentine's Day, but we can love anytime, right? So I hope that for you, you can use the first expression, out of sight, out of mind, in a variety of situations. You don't have to use it only for relationships. You could say, my keys. I lost my keys, out of sight, out of mind. Where are my keys? I walked all the way to my car and I didn't get my keys because they weren't on the table. I didn't see them, so I didn't remember them. You can use this in a variety of ways. My keys were out of sight, out of mind. But make sure we use the second expression, absence makes the heart grow fonder, only for relationships. If you use this for something else, let's make it a little funny with a little joke. So before I mentioned that I often forget dinner. If I'm reheating my dinner and I walk to the other room, I usually forget about it. I could say, if I don't forget about it, if I'm always thinking about my dinner, oh, I can't wait to eat it. When is it going to be hot? I can't wait. I'm so hungry. I could say, oh, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I want to eat so much. But it's a little strong, and 99% of the time it's for relationships. So if you use this in other situations, it's just a joke. Serious love for your food or for something else in your life. So I hope that these two idioms are useful for you. Let's practice them out loud before we go. Let's practice saying this in a negative way. A negative way. So earlier we had a good example of when to talk about this in a positive way. So let's use this really quick. I want you to repeat after me. Are you ready? When I'm gone. English is out of sight, but it's not out of mind. When I'm gone, English is out of sight, but it's not out of mind. Let's say this quickly together. And just to let you know, sometimes we pronounce this out of sight, out of mind. So if you want to say it quickly, some good pronunciation practice. When I'm gone, English is out of sight, but it's not out of mind. Are you repeating this with me? If you have some private, quiet space with you, say it out loud with me. When I'm gone, English is out of sight, but it's not out of mind. I still care about it, even though it's not around me at the moment. It's out of sight, but it's not out of mind. I hope that this quick practice can help you to use this important expression. We use it a lot. It's a beautiful way to increase your vocabulary, and I hope that you can remember it because we repeated it a lot today. A lot. So my next recommendation is to go back, review this video, and write down a couple sample expressions, some sample sentences that we used, and try to make your own if you didn't already make some during the lesson. Make your own sentences, write them in the comments, share them with other people, and continue to learn English. Thanks for learning with me. We'll have another live lesson on Thursday at 9 a.m. EST. So 9 a.m. is in the morning for me. For you, I'm not sure. Maybe the middle of the night. I hope not. 9 a.m. EST, Tuesday and Thursday. Feel free to get a notification. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll get a notification. And we'll have more useful topics coming up idioms, expressions, ideas, some feedback that I can share with you to help you improve as much as possible. And if you think, Vanessa, I don't want you to go. No, don't finish this English lesson yet. Well, I have some good news. Of course, you can watch this video again. You can watch my other video lessons, but you can also download my free ebook, 5 Steps to Becoming a Confident English Speaker. This has helped thousands of English learners know what's the next step. What's the next step for your English journey? Because there's so many options. So the link for this is in the description below this video or on the screen at the end of our lesson. And it's going to help you really stay connected with English. I'll share with you free email lessons and any useful tips that I can create to share with you. It's my goal to help you as much as possible. So thanks so much for joining me. Have a beautiful day, beautiful Tuesday, and I'll see you again the next time. Out of sight, but not out of mind. Bye, everyone. See you later.